Blades Ramble are proudly supported by our main channel sponsor, My Business Group, a group of brands designed to support owners, leaders and managers in business. We would not be where we are without the incredible support of John and the team. If you're looking to grow your business, contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk today for more information or follow the link in the description below.
Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, people, and welcome back to Behind the Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and this is a random, just sort of live that I've decided to jump on and talk about because, first of all, it feels like ages since I've been on, and it hasn't really been that long, but it's been so busy over the Christmas period, and then with the Oxford game getting called off, it sort of was an abrupt halt to all things football, and yeah, we're back tonight on the Blades Ramble. Myself and my dad. My dad will be talking sense or nonsense, whichever way around you think it is. I hope you're all really well. I'm really excited with how everything is shaping up for not only the channel but across the channels that we've got. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some ideas that we've got. But the title of this is it's quite a heavy title, and it's not meant to be a clicky title or anything like that, because if you read the description, it tells you exactly what it's about. But I think I beat myself up a lot about not doing what I need to do, and not being on things enough, and not doing enough, and all this sort of stuff. And anybody that knows me knows if I sat back and saw anybody else do what I do, I'd think they were a hard worker, and I'd think, you know, they've done well and all this sort of thing. But I think you beat yourself up a little bit sometimes. I'm going to be open and honest in this video, and I am absolutely fine. I don't want anybody worried about me. I think it's important, particularly when I'm in a good headspace like I feel like I am today. Might change tomorrow, but I think it's important to openly talk about these things so that people know that they're not on their own with stuff like this. So as the channel has grown a little bit, particularly the Blades Ramble is the one that we're talking about, I've been fortunate enough to sort of get increased opportunities and things like that, and this will continue, and hopefully all being well, and you'll get to see more of my mug on different things. And you know, we've got a very exciting opportunity coming up tomorrow and things like that. And when you're quite self-conscious, if you stop in the moment at any time and sort of let yourself reflect, then it's not always a very healthy thing. So I will look in the mirror a lot of days, and I'm not happy with what I see and I'm not alone in this. There'll be a lot of people who think exactly the same. So this was it. This was the year that I was going to sort myself out. In fact, some of you may remember, I think I only shared this in the Platinum group, but I put a cryptic one of these in. It were a 3, 6, 12, and it was a teaser really for a show that was going to come up on Behind the Ramble, because I'm going to put a little bit more focus onto both channels. We've done a lot of work already on Ramble FC. Thank you to the lads and lasses that are working on there with us. I think that's that's probably the most community-led channel that we've got at the moment. Everybody's all Platinum Ramblers are getting, or those that want to are getting involved. But I've taken the downtime from no games to sort of do a couple of uplifts on some of the shows there, and you'll hopefully see the difference in some of the things that you watch on there if you go over and do that. We haven't yet got to, I need an intro for Behind the Ramble, for example, and things like that. But I forgot what I was going to say. I've lost my train of thought completely, which isn't a surprise. But yeah, I put this teaser in about 3, 6, 12. The old 3, 6, 12, and it did exactly what I wanted it to do in terms of it just piqued some people's interest. It wasn't like a massive launch or anything like that. I like to just give the Platinum Ramblers, those who support the channels the most, a little bit of an insight as to what it was going to be. And what it was going to be was 3 stone, 6 months, and 12 cheat days. So I had it all lined up for a huge weight loss transformation thing. And I thought, there is no way I can fail this, because the accountability of being online and sort of posting daily or whatever it were going to be, I was going to try and do it daily in shorts or whatever it might be. And to be honest, I got to day 1 and I was on my way back from Amsterdam, and I weren't eating badly or anything. In fact, we got off the ferry early doors. The girls hadn't had any breakfast on the ferry because it cost an absolute arm and a leg. I think it were like 25 quid each or something we're going to work out. So we got off the ferry. We went straight for a McDonald's breakfast. I didn't have anything. We got home. I was straight to game, pretty much. And I were okay on the first day. And I were about to do some filming. And I can't remember whether I came home and stuffed my face or what. But I failed at the first hurdle. And then I thought, well, it's a Thursday. Shall we start on the Monday? Because then you don't want to be starting on a Friday, do you? And every excuse I could give myself, I just give myself. And it never happened. And it never materialized. So I'm disappointed with myself. As I sit here on the 7th, my diet is no better. My fitness plan is no better. And I'm annoyed with myself at it. And I will continue to be annoyed with myself at it. But is it going to be enough to do something about it? And I don't know, is the honest answer. And I just want people to know that if you've had the same experience or a similar experience, you're not on your own. There'll be thousands of us out there that have done exactly the same thing. And yeah, I'm just gutted that I couldn't bring some motivation to the channel, really, in sort of helping others along. But this is Behind the Ramble. This is real life. This is what they're not all going to be success stories. I didn't want to just drop this in to the group and then Platinum Ramblers are speculating on what it is, and then it just goes away and just never appears again. So I thought, because I'd done that on purpose, so that I felt like I had to, come up with the reasoning behind it. And it's one of them things, isn't it? So I'm still not happy with what looks back at me in the mirror. I'm still, I still need some motivation to get shift some of this weight that I'm really not happy about. But I haven't got the motivation at the minute, and that's tough. That's really tough. And it's led to some interesting conversations, really, in the one particularly pertinent one in the Platinum chat again. And I'm not referring to it as a sales point for any of those that aren't involved, but it is a really sort of involved community there. And there were a discussion about ADHD. And that is, I'm not going to go into it too much because that's not what, some people might not either be comfortable talking about it or thinking about it or whatever. But I am almost certain I am on the spectrum at some level. And it was interesting that some had corroborated that when I jumped into the conversation that they were already having about ADHD. And I just found it a really interesting, and I think there's probably more people, as education grows around it, there's probably more people that that discover they have some placement there, and it's not a case of pigeonholing people. It's more a case of getting to the bottom of how you can be the best version of yourself, I suppose. I don't know, because I would like to know more about it, and I am thinking about doing a bit of a series on this channel in terms of discovering a little bit more about myself in that regard. And it's more a personal journey than anything else, but it's I think it's really important, and I think for some people it's not a big deal, but for others it really is. So again, this is just, it's not necessarily going to be football led, this channel. It's more about other things, and people know that I care a lot about mental health and other things like that. And I think stuff like this all branches off into it, doesn't it? So that's something I was thinking of. The second thing I want to talk to you about is some of the exciting stuff that I've got planned for the channel. I've got a really, what I think is an innovative idea for a cross-channel show. So I've already got potentially some guests lined up. where basically I'll deep dive interview people about. It's not going to be like tapping into your sad past, but I want to get like a deep understanding of people and whether they what makes them tick and what their worries are, what's the other side of their personality that people don't get to see. So I'm talking about like some celebrities, some footballers, and I think the way I'm going to split it up between the channels is because obviously a lot of my contact base is more around footballers. If they are Sheffield United linked in any way, the show will be called. What did I say the show going to be called? Again, this is just where my head goes sometimes. The other side, that was it. I want it to be called The Other Side. But it'll go across all 3 channels, like I say. So it'll be, if it's a Sheffield United linked footballer, it'll go on the Blades Ramble. If it's a footballer not linked to Sheffield United, it'll go on Ramble FC. And if it's not a footballer or not related to football, it'll be on Behind the Ramble. And I think that will be its own brand, if you like, of show, but you'll find it in different places dependent on the personality that I'm talking to about it. So if you've anybody that you know that you think may have an interesting story, whether that's a big celeb or a little known celeb or anybody that you feel is quite interesting as a personality and you feel like they would be happy to share their story and it would be an interesting story to hear, then I want to do a bit of digging. That's alongside, that's not necessarily the ADHD journey thing I'm talking about, but it's that's alongside as a separate piece. So yeah, there's a few little things that my head's all over the place a little bit in terms of plans. I'm very excited for what can come this, I'm going to say this season, but this year. I suppose we do work in seasons when you're mainly a football fan channel, but I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with the way things are going, and long may it continue. I want to thank everybody for your support. I'm going to jump into some comments now. Let's have a look. Jimmy Dunkley, are you good? Yes, I'm fine, mate. Thank you. Sorry if I scared you. Hope you're well, mate. Says Gaz. Yes, mate, I am. Thank you. Hope you are too. Mark Meldew says, good afternoon, Jimmy Pal. Hope you're well, my mate. Afternoon. You all. Sorry, have I scared people with this headline? Because I didn't mean to. It was more, yeah, I'm disappointed in myself, but I don't want people to feel like they're on their own doing it. Afternoon, Jimmy. Hope you're well, pal. I'm okay. Up all the rambles, up the blades, the positive 6, like and subscribe, says Dave Morwood. Afternoon, mate. Love the ramble. You should be proud of what you've built up the ramble. Thank you, mate. Thank you, my pal. Lou says, these are normal feelings, Jim, and not many people have either the courage or emotional maturity to speak about it in the way you do. You've achieved a lot, and sometimes when we move quickly and then suddenly stop and overthink, you feel this way. I'm the same. I overthink everything. I'm my biggest critic. Good for you wanting to self-improve, though. We all can every day up the ramble. Yeah, I'm trying to find a balance. Thank you, Lucas. That resonates, but I'm trying to find a balance here between letting everybody know I'm fine. And I am fine. This is not a, oh no, I've failed and I must improve and all this sort of thing. I am genuinely disappointed that I've not given it a proper go. But I don't want to be flippant about it either, because it does bother me. It does bother me when, you know, I see myself in pictures. I never have my photo, or I hate having my photo taken, should I say. I don't, if people ask to have a photo now, I'll do it, but I don't like it, if I'm honest. And that's my issue. It's not because I don't want to have photos with people. It's because I'm not happy with myself. So I know I need to try and change it. I'm just not in the right psychological frame of mind to change it, if that makes sense. But yeah, thank you. As I say, I'm okay. Please, nobody, you know, I'm all good. It's just I want people to know it's a normal problem, isn't it? There are a lot of us have. Ian says, afternoon, Jimmy. Don't beat yourself up, pal. I broke mine about 6 p.m. on the 1st of Jan. To be honest, I set myself one which involved self-discipline, but I haven't kept to it as much as I'd hoped. Yeah, sorry to hear that, pal, but it's one of them things, isn't it? We have to just keep trying, I suppose, get back on the horse. Mark Meldrew says, I'm with you on this 100%. Also, I don't like what I see in the mirror, and it's knocked my confidence tenfold. I struggle when I feel I've no accountability to anyone. Sorry to hear that, Marco. Yeah, it's quite poignant, isn't it, to hear that other people have similar things. And I think it's important for me to come on and sort of let people know it's all right. It's all right, and it's normal. And these are sort of sometimes taboo subjects that I do feel a bit awkward talking about at times. But again, I feel it's important. I feel it's important to let other lads and lasses know. Oh, just because I might come on sometimes and be like, "Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the Blade Ramble." And you see me on with Mountain and Dave and Jordan, Lee and Lou, everybody, and having a laugh. And we do have a laugh. It's all genuine reactions and stuff. And it's nothing on this channel is ever forced. But that is also why I'm coming on and being as open with you as I am being now, because there can be different sides to people's personalities. When I'm and people will have seen this when I've been out in and around the ground, because I try and mask it, but I'm not amazing at masking it. I am very socially awkward at times, not all the time, but I am very socially awkward. So whilst I might come across as quite confident on camera, there is me in this room, and I could not imagine speaking. I think there's 47 people. It keeps going up and down a little bit, but it's 47 people in live as we're talking. I couldn't do, if you were all stood here looking at me, I'd be mute. I couldn't. It's just a strange feeling and a strange thing. But yeah, it's reality, isn't it? Marco, you know I'm here, mate, if you need anything. Jack says, keep at it, mate. I understand the feeling. Part of my ADHD, I chase the sugar highs and I really struggle to keep a healthy diet. I said I was going to start the gym again on Monday and sort my diet. It's Wednesday and I still haven't started. Yeah. It's one of them, isn't it? One of them, mate. And I suppose the message is, and because I can't come on here and sort of open myself up and say, this is what I've done, this is where I've let me send down or whatever it is, and then say that's absolutely fine. But it's if I'm talking to my mates about it, which I am now, then it's all right for me to tell you, it's all right though, Jack. It's all right. Just give yourself another chance. And if you want to go again, you can. And maybe that's advice I should give to myself, isn't it? So this is why it helps me, stuff like this. And this is why I love this community, because it sort of, as you're talking and as you're on about different stuff, it sort of opens things up to you a little bit. Gaz says, love this, mate. Absolute class community. Thank you, mate. Big T says, 3 years ago, I lost 6 stone in 12 months. Changed my life. I was 28 stone. Doctor told me if I can't do it for me, do it for your kids. Wow. Wow, mate. That's very impressive and very admirable. And yeah, well done to you, mate. Well done. Dave says, I feel that Jimmy mine was to be nice to people that lasted 2 hours. Excuse me. I tell you what, I've been quite poorly over the last couple of days. And today, I'm okay. But today is the first day I've felt back to myself a little bit. We've been for a little bit of a spa. Something that Mrs. Ramble bought us for Christmas. Been very nice. Had a nice massage. That ended on a nice massage. And that was brilliant. So I feel a lot better today. Happy to support anyone with fitness and a balanced diet, etc. Says Gaz. Love that, mate. Thank you. Thom, my old mate, says, love this idea, mate. Once again, bringing hard topics and conversations to light and making them seem normal. You'll be known as St. Jimmy soon. Jokes aside, mate, class act, and don't forget it. Thank you, my mate. It's not to be a martyr. It's not to be, oh, yeah, this is the place where we come to talk about awkward things. It's just being honest and letting people know in it. And I don't really know any other way to be, I suppose. I'm a little bit too open at times. I'm one of those that tells me missus absolutely everything. If I didn't, I'd forget. I like her to know everything that's happening, just so I can. It's like writing something down. If I tell her, she does not forget anything. But maybe I'm a bit too honest with some stuff. But anyway, I think if it helps people, then why not? Do you have a trick? Have to keep a trick diet, Gaz? Being a ref, a strict diet. I think that'll be. Mark Meldrew says, I'd love that, Gaz. I'm horrendous, pal. I'm always, oh, I'll do it then and tomorrow kind of guy. Jack says, the best thing about the new year, new me is you've got 11 and a half months to go, mate. Keep at it. Yeah, true. Very true. There's no sort of, you can't start now again until next January, is there? That's very true, Jack. Well said, mate. Lee says, Jimmy, it doesn't matter when you start. As long as you start, that's when the journey begins. Good luck. Thank you, my mate. Bald and brilliantly. Jack says ADHD affects everyone differently. For me, it's the confidence to speak to new people. It took me ages to come down to Triple Point, and I barely speak while I'm in there. Jack, you've done it though, haven't you? You've done it. You've come in. You've met us all. You're part of the community anyway. Whether you were physically there or not, you're part of it. But the fact that you've made that step to physically come in and put yourself in what you know will be an awkward and difficult situation for you, and hopefully you now feel even more a part of it because you are, mate, you are. But you should be proud of yourself for doing that, because I know from speaking to you very briefly of a thing and at TP how you feel about stuff. Dave says, you got this, Jimmy, 100%. I believe you can put your mind to it and achieve what you want. Thank you, Davey boy. I can. There's no doubt about it. If I was in the right frame of mind, I could get on like a weight loss journey. It's just, why can't I connect the dots as to one of the main things that's making me unhappy is my appearance? And then if I put the work in, that will resolve that issue. I haven't got the motive. This is just being honest. I haven't got the motivation to fix this, even though this is my main problem. The maths does not work. I like to think I'm a fairly clever lad. I'm not super brainy by any means, but it's a little bit 1 + 1 = 2, isn't it? If you do the work and stick to a diet and you are disciplined, then you will resolve probably the biggest issue that you've got in your life at the moment, which is your, not self-loathing, that's a little bit too extreme, but your embarrassment about your appearance and things like that. So maybe I don't know how to connect the dots and make myself look at that. That's what is that? Yeah, that when I won't tell you that tale, but I'd rather hide it than Sophie. But yeah, so maybe that's the sitch. Maybe that's the. I don't know how to connect those dots. Gaz says, Mark, we'll push some fitness plans onto the WhatsApp. Also, give some really good, quick, cheap recipes for health food. Hardest thing is sticking to it and not stopping. As you are just as you're about to see the benefits of all your hard work. Thank you, Gaz. What an absolute ledge. Mr. V says, good morning, Jimmy. I'm sorry you're going through a self-reflecting time and struggling with it just a bit. Just know that you can contact me at any time, night or day, if you feel like a chat. Mr. V, I know I can. And thank you for that. Again, I'm in a good place at the minute. Please don't anybody feel like I'm going to log off and cry or anything like that. And it's a good time for me to speak about this because I am annoyed at myself and disappointed in myself. And it is a genuine concern of mine and has been for a long time in terms of my appearance. But I'm all right. I'm not like crying into my pillow or anything like that. I'm not crying into a curly whirly either. But it's easy. It's just one of them. It's one of them that I can change it if I need to. How do I get the motivation to change it? I suppose that's the mission that I'm on, trying to sort of compute that in my head, if that makes sense. Lou says, we're all here for you, Jim. For anyone else in the community, we're all lucky that you created the Ramble. It's a support network we would never have had. Thank you, my mate. Marco says, why don't we set up a group chat for people who are on this journey to discuss things with each other? I found this useful in the past. I lost 2.5 stone during lockdown, then piled it all on once my son was born. No excuses. Let's tackle it together. Maybe there might be something in that, old Marcus Meldrew. Most genuine, friendly bloke I know, mate, says Bisto Brett. My daughter loves you, famous Jimmy. Behave yourself. Thank you, Brett. I'm on the diet this year. Can't keep complaining. My missus is shrinking my clothes. Joe says, big thing with fitness is it's not about doing it when motivated. It's about doing it when you really can't be bothered. Fair, mate. All it takes is a start and soon it becomes a routine. There'll be times you slip up, but it happens. Not always straightforward. Joe, thank you, my mate. We miss you, pal. Hope you're good. Not seen you in the chat for a while. You're always welcome, mate. You know that, whether in or out. You know what I mean by that. Jamie says, would the show be like The Hustle? No, mate. No, I think it's going to be more like a proper interview. I've got a couple of names lined up. I don't want to sort of say straight off in case they don't come off because I don't ever want to keep it. Again, I'm too honest because I don't want to keep anything from anybody. And I'd love to tell you the names, but if they then don't happen, then I've let people down, haven't I? So just hang tight and we'll see what we can get sorted. But looking forward to starting. Thom says, if you're anything like me, Jim, mate, just doing this today, talking about it out loud will help. If you're just talking about it out loud will help tenfold. It's in existence now, so it will happen. We shall see, mate. We shall see. Joey says, little things add up. Simple stuff like doing a 20-minute walk a day. Soon that'll be an hour a day. Same with the diet. You've got to start slow. Cut everything out at once and you'll struggle. Joe, that's it, innit? I think we all do that. I think all of us, because there'll be a lot of people watching that have thought, New Year, I'm going to drop a load of weight. So I'm going to have my last Chinese on New Year's Eve or whatever it's going to be. And then from then, I'm on shakes or I'm on salads or I'm on so on. And then it's like you've gone from sublime to ridiculous, haven't you? I agree with you in terms of it needs little changes, doesn't it? Little tweaks. I think that's going to be easier to manage. So, yeah, there'll definitely be ways of doing it. And, you know, appreciate the input, pal. Van Blade says, it's very easy to set standards of yourself that you wouldn't dream of expecting of others. You see yourself every day. So the urge to change and the feeling of failure when you don't is much higher. Well said, mate. Well said. I think that's fair. Great to have you back involved as well, Van Blade. Thank you for your support, my mate. Ian says, I was told a habit takes 21 days to form, so 3 weeks of perseverance and it will seem natural. That's got to be an aim, hasn't it, Ian? I think if that is the core thing, that's the 3-week target that you've got to get to. Again, I'm not going to set it here because I don't want to sort of potentially start something going and then not be able to finish it because of me lack of motivation. I nearly did it with this 3-6-12, and I thought, if I put it out there into the ether, then it'll have to happen. People, you know, I'm accountable then, aren't I? Well, the reality is, it's not happened. It's not happened, and that's down to me. So I'm glad I didn't get too far down the road because I'd have felt a lot worse if I'd have set off on the journey and then let people down from there. Joey says, just got to think if you start now in a year's time, you'll be over the moon with where you are. Brand says, hope you're well, Jimmy. I'm great, mate. Thank you. Hope you are too. Jack says, you also need to find what suits you best and your lifestyle. That's very true as well. That's very true as well. Anyway, I just thought I'd jump on here and have a little chat with everybody. I've got to the end of everybody's comments. Thank you to everyone for joining me. We'll move it over to those that are in the platinum. And to be fair, it's not really. It's not something that we're going to use as like, oh, well, it's a platinum benefit. And if you join up to the Platinum Ramblers, then you can be part of this group. I think what Mark Meldrew suggests there is a really potentially a very powerful thing in terms of a motivational group. So what I'd say is, if you see this video and you want to be included, then DM me on whatever social or comment on this video saying you'd like to be involved or wherever it might be, and we will put you in a WhatsApp group with us just for this fitness thing. So it's not going to be it's just a Platinum Ramble thing. So I don't think that's fair. I think people that are this is a genuine issue for a lot of people. Platinum Rambler, obviously, it's part of the business model of the Blade Ramble, and those are the people that support us the most. But it's not a case of, it's not an exclusive club like we can't help people outside it. So I think we'll set up a fitness group or a motivational group for anybody that's interested, really, and we'll drop that in there for anybody that wants to join us on that journey. Is that the right word? Is that a bit a bit cliche? I'm not bothered at the minute, to be fair. I'll say journey as long as I can, as long as I drop 3 stone. So anyway, thank you to everyone for joining me today. Thank you for everyone that's sort of giving us a chance with the new content and stuff like that. Let us know your honest feedback on it as well. I am convinced, absolutely convinced, that the shows that we are producing on Ramble FC are top-notch stuff. It might not be for everyone because it's more generic football than just Sheffield United, which is obviously what we've come onto the platform with. But Lou and Man Mountain in particular doing their 2 shows that we've split up now into 2 separate shows and giving it a bit of a glow up. We also do football therapy with myself, Lee, Jord, and Man Mountain. I'm really proud of those shows, and I think if we put a little bit more, or if I put a little bit more time and effort into them, they can really start to fly. So thank you to everyone that supports us with those. There is more stuff coming to Behind the Ramble, as I've spoken about briefly. But we're back tonight on the Blade Ramble with the main man. It's the channel MVP, Andy the Blade, talking sense. He might want to change the name of that show. But anyway, we'll call it there. So for now, come on, you red and white wizards. On the